Willie D Live.
Well, I was about to say, is that because of some some natural humanitarian thing that's in us, or is it because of fear or some type of cowardness?
It's not. I don't think we're cowardly. I just think we hope that. We always believe there's hope in someone.
Well, why don't we have that same amount of hope for each other?
For each other. That was a good one.
How come we're not as forgiving when it comes to each other?
Each other, because they trained us to be that way. Slave mentality back in the day. They, house niggas, field niggas, colorism, embarrassing, fucking black men in the ass in front of their families, emasculating black men in front of their families. Letting other slaves letting a black man watch the other slaves. You remember they would let a black dude be on watch, the overseer. He's like, you niggas better, don't you, little, fiddler type shit. Yeah. So pitting us against each other, doing that for hundreds of years, it was brilliant. So that's why when we see our own people, we mean mug each other.
It was wicked.
We mean mug each other. We go, we got to get them to hate each other, right? We're gonna get them, but. They're going to think we're the greatest things in the world. That's why they're going to be forgiving to us. And then we're going to top it with religion. We're going to put religion on there, put this white Jesus up there, because we got to keep that white image. And we're going to be these divine gods. They're going to be all white. So now we got you brainwashed with church, because first of all, with slaves, church was serious. That was like a shelter. Blacks would go to church. That would be that Sunday to praise and, you know what I mean, and be together. And so you got church, you got pitting each other against each other, you got colorism, you got hierarchies during the slave time, you got rape and pillaging and brainwashing of black men and black women and fear of what will happen to you if you try to run away. All of that, yeah, you're going to hate each other. Why do you think in this business, and I'm calling it out, Willie, I'm calling it out, black comedians are some of the worst motherfuckers when it comes to sticking together. That's a fact. I'm not talking about every black comedian. There's some black comedians that do help. They have their little pockets, but we stink. The white boys, I'm keeping it 100. These motherfuckers will do anything to do better than us. They will all go on each other's podcasts. If you haven't noticed that shit, look at Rogan. Man, you know how many motherfuckers I know, white dudes that be on his podcast? Some of them don't even be that great.
But Rogan put everybody on, though.
He puts.
He don't discriminate.
I didn't say he discriminates, but his majority of guys that is on.
That's true. The majority.
Unless you're a really famous black dude that he's a fan of.
Yeah.
But other than that, Rogan, and I'm complimenting him.
But I've also seen some not so famous black comedians on his show.
Which is good. I saw Ali Sadiq, which I was happy he was on there. Ali deserves that shit.
Yeah.
But majority of his guys are white dudes but after they get to Rogan, their numbers go up, they're selling out shows. That's the way you fucking do that shit.
Right.
That's the way you do it. That's why I ask guys, you want to come on my podcast? I'm not Rogan numbers, but if I were ever to be I would love to be able to king motherfuckers. Oh, hey man, I got on Godfrey's show. I'm selling out shows. Who doesn't want to do that? Yeah, but a lot of us are very like, I don't want him to have anything. Or we'll be in a room and someone brings up a name and you shit on them in that room because you're a fucking mini gatekeeper. This shit happens, and I know about it because people tell me. I know people in these rooms. I'm not calling any names because that would be foolish because nobody's here to defend themselves. But it's the truth. All this talent we got. And we barely help each other. Anytime we do get in the public, we're dogging each other. Like, oh, this nigga, he ain't. That's all we're good for? White boys they never do that shit. And we go, now how is this white dude getting all this? I go, let me tell you why. Because he helps his friend. They help that friend. They all right. And listen, don't worry. I'm not ignoring the fact that of course they're white. They're going to give whatever the fuck they want. You can be average and white and get a lot of shit. They run it. I get it. But the one thing that never fails is unity, man. Nothing ever fails when you have support. Regardless of when you have support, that's how the black circuit started. back in the day, in the early 1900s, the Toba circuit with Pigmeat Mark and Red Fox, LaWanda Page, and all those great comics. They got together and formed their own shit and started working. That's where black comedy came from.